Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Tip Podcast, where we have real pros sharing real stories and sharing real pro tips that back up their success. And today we got a great show for you. And if you like what you see, please like and subscribe to our channel. You can check us out at YouTube, youtube.com/at Pro Tip Podcast. And you can check us out on Facebook as well, facebook.com/the Pro Tip Podcast. And feel free to email us with any questions at info@protippodcast.com. And today, I've been waiting for this one. I got my friends, Kenny and Brett Gilmore, and they are pros. They'll deny it, but they're pro dirt track race car drivers. And not only are they pros, but they're second and third generation. And I'm just excited to have you guys with me here today. So welcome to the Pro Tip Podcast.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. So a little bit of backstory real quick. I went to the races for the first time when I was a young teenager, and I went for like a 5-year period of time. And during that time, I remember hearing this Gilmore name, Charlie Gilmore, Kenny Gilmore, and along with some other legends in the dirt track racing. And then I kind of got away from it for about 30 years. And then when I married my wife recently, I kind of married into a racing family, so I started going back to the races. And it was so cool because I get back to Grandview and they're talking about the Gilmores. And I'm like, wait a minute. Are they the same Gilmores that I remember from, when I was a kid all those years ago? And one of them was, and the other one wasn't around back then because he's the young one in the group. So anyway, my stepson and Brett went to school together and became good friends. And Zach became one of your sponsors.
Yep.
Little Pecker Landscaping. Shout out Little Pecker Landscaping. And I got a chance to meet you then that year that he was.
You didn't meet me until after we won. You're like, I'm gonna wait a minute.
This
guy seems a little strange.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. No, just kidding.
I forget that. Maybe he's right. I don't know. Yeah. But after when I met you, because he had you over, and you impressed me, man. I think you're a great person, and I
appreciate that.
I'm
a little high energy for some, but I mean.
You're good, man. I think you kind of need to be doing what you do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You kind of have to be. Got to be a little. People call it energy or like wound up. I'm like, I'm passionate about it, so that's why I'm so vocal.
That's a good thing. If you're gonna listen, you're not gonna win unless you're passionate about it, right?
Amen.
Okay. So, got a chance to meet him, and then the following year we came on board as a sponsor through Yocom Drywall, and what a heck of a year last year was. We had so much fun. Just being a part of that, watching you both win. You're looking at 2 last year Grandview winners, and you were back to back, right?
In a row. Yeah.
Back to back wins. That was so cool.
And then Shannon won the third week, a driver who we kind of.
Yep. Yeah. We kind of,
Did she drive?
We helped her along.
She drove his car.
She drove for me the year before, and then she bought her own car over the winter, and then she won the week before he won. So it was her, Brett, and then me.
We were there when she won as well.
Yeah.
And again, kind of like what we were just talking about a little earlier. I see some of these young ones driving these cars, and they're just 16, 17-year-old kids, basically. And some of them look like they're 12 driving these things. But I have a bunch of questions I'd like to ask you guys. Maybe go back down memory lane for sure on some of the stuff. But first of all, can you both kind of tell me, like, how awesome is it? I'm a father myself. My dad is one of my best friends and heroes. Shout out to Big Bob. So as a kid, to do things with my dad was like one of the coolest things, And as a father, to be involved in something with your son is one of the coolest things, no doubt, right?
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of dads out there that want to spend time with their boys that can't. There's a lot of kids out there want to spend time with their dad, and the dad doesn't want to give them, any time at all. So, what do you guys like? How awesome is this?
Yeah, I'm gonna admit I'm probably one of the few, if not the only one, that I got to race with my dad and my son. So I mean, when I was growing up, I mean that's all I knew. I mean I played baseball for 8 years in Little League and senior division. I missed some races because games obviously are on the same night racing is, but most of the races every week I'd be there, with Dad. When I was too young, I'd watch because I've been going to the races since I'm 6 months old. I was born in October, and then the next racing season was Dorney Park where Dad raced, and I was in the front row in a baby carriage, so I've been going my whole life. Then when I can help him, once I was old enough to help him, then it was that really changed because I'm
taking the feathers off the tires.
Oh yeah,
and he was in the grandstands.
I wasn't old enough to go in the pits, and Dad used to run, whenever the race was, he was there. Doesn't matter what track. So we ran Friday night at Big Diamond, and the tire. This is before we knew how to grind tires and all that stuff. So the tire that he wanted to run at Grandview that next night got feathered. Like it wore that the feathers feather up and they would close the grooves. So I don't want to say he made me do it, but he told me to sit outside the pit gate because I wasn't old enough to go in with a one-sided razor blade, and I'm cutting all the feathers off this tire because he wanted it for that night, and he did use it. But when I was done with it, I went in the grandstands because I was only 14. So,
that's awesome.
So yeah, but we didn't sign back then you could sign a form that to allow the younger kids in the pits, but I didn't go in until I was 16, I think. So, but yeah, everywhere Dad went, I went. I mean, that's all I knew. That's all I wanted to ever do. And then finally in '86, that's when I started because I was 21, and I'm like, if I don't start this year, I'm never going to start. So then just happened, things fell the right way, and yeah, we started racing, and yeah, never again. Well, I remember the first time I ever drove a race car at Nazareth. At the half-mile dirt track, Dad qualified 2 cars, and their track had rules where the car was qualified, so anybody could run it. So he went out in his car, and then he asked me, he said, just take it out and get the green, just take a couple laps just to get the money. So that's what I did, and I think I ran a total of like 5 or so laps, and then I pulled in. But that was the first time I ever sat in a race car on a track racing, and then the next year I went to Grandview. So, but yeah, it's just fun to race with him. Still able to do it. I mean, at 61 years old and win a feature at 60, it's like, yeah, I don't know, it doesn't get much better than that. So, but yeah, just to be competitive with our budget and what we have access to, our resources.
We do a lot with a little.
Yeah, we're like MacGyvers. I mean, we really are. We do a lot with a little. And again, don't have the resources our competition has. A lot of our competition. Now, some guys in our division and sportsmen, I mean, they lower budget guys. I mean, that's because that's the lower class. But there's some guys that we race against that, you can tell. I mean, they were definitely outclassed in resources and money and.
Yeah.
But we again, that makes you feel good at the end of the day when you can race right with them and beat them sometimes.
I have a lot of respect for that. And
Yeah.
that was something I wanted to bring up as far as that you guys are, man, you're the crew pretty much. And you're,
pretty much.
You're,
Yeah.
We have one other guy, Colby, and that's our
Colby. Yeah, Colby.
You call, he comes. Like this weekend, we're gonna start working on vinyls, and like if I text him today, like, hey, I need you there at 9 a.m. He'll be all right. Like he'll be there. I know he will. Yeah. It's just how he is.
He's really good.
You couldn't ask for a better crew guy.
Yeah.
So now, were you pushed up to the fence at 6 months old as well, or which?
I don't know if it was 6 months. There's a video of me in Victory Lane in '96 with my mom and him. Yeah. We actually have that vintage car. So that was, I was probably going before that, but that's like the one
He didn't go every week like I did because my mom was all in on racing where his mom might not have been. So he stayed home a lot, but he was there the night we actually won. I was driving for Breitenstein's, and that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a cool memory when you win a feature and your whole family can join you. That's really cool.
Probably I wasn't even 2 yet because it was in the middle of the season.
Yep.
So
It cracks me up when I see, you mentioned getting pushed up to the fence at 6 months old.
Yeah.
I'm at Grandview, and I got I'm sitting all the way up in the nosebleed.
he wears the glasses. He's got the earmuffs. He's got the mask. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
And then these kids are down there at the fence, and they're just eating it.
Just getting plastered.
But my ears, from all the 80s rock concerts at the Silo and the Spectrum and standing next to the speakers and then shooting guns with no ear protection, that's bad. My ears are pretty shot. I have to do it. The ringing after... it doesn't take much. The little slingshots, I got to put it on because
he comes home and
it hurts.
That's all you hear.
I think if I remember, Dorney Park actually wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a little small asphalt track. I mean, they didn't make. I'm not saying they didn't make a lot of noise, but it probably was loud, and who knows? I mean, I can still hear, so it might not have affected me.
Not so bad.
You're okay.
Yeah, I can hear okay. Yeah.
So, what's your take on being able to do what you do with your dad, man? Like that's a blessed.
It's a humbling. I don't have. I always say that I don't have the right word for it. I think humbling is the right word in my opinion. I never got to see my grandfather race. I mean, I got to see him drive a car. I never got to see him race, but I mean, I get to race with him, which is, it's always a good feeling. But I started when I was 5, but I always had like go-kart stuff before that. But we started when we were 5 in go-karts, then moved up to full-size karts when I was 8, and then pretty much raced the same track my whole go-kart career at Orville outside of Topton. And then we ran like an oval called Marsh Creek. They shut down years ago. We ran there a couple times. We ran a place called Milford, Delaware. It's a little town.
We went to Shellhammers one time.
Oh yeah, went one time. It wasn't my forte, for some reason.
Yeah, well, you were young yet though too. You were still
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't go to Shellhammers on a Saturday night because he was racing, but Grandview rained out and Shellhammers didn't, so we went.
Yep.
But we went to Milford, Delaware, and it was a street course, and that's one of my favorite memories, go-kart racing. Yeah. Because you're on the street, like they close down the town, and you're on the street.
Yeah, they block off street.
And you're not going slow on the street.
No.
And the main hill that you're going up, it wasn't smooth. You had to go like this down the straightaway to keep to it because the one part of the straightaway was an intersection. Well, it went like this and dropped off, but if you went to the left of it, it was kind of smooth. Because half the time, you'd get the guy in front of you who didn't know was doing that. Like, he would just show, like, he would be practicing, and he'd get air, and you'd be 6-7 inches in the air, and he'd come down, boom, sparks would fly, and I'm like, okay, next lap you come around, but more than that, like, it wasn't, like, that aggressive, but, like, where he hit it, must have, whoop, it was perfect.
So you were road racing at the young age.
Yeah. I was probably 10 or 11.
That's really cool.
But, yeah, we ran go-karts for a little over 10 years. We went back one time when I was 16 just to race because we had the go-kart.
Just to piss him off.
Just to piss him off. Just to make him...
Because the last year he ran go-karts, I forget what happened, why we made the decision, but I said, next year we go to win every week. Like, I think we needed tires or something. I said, I don't care if there's one or 2 weeks left. I said, we're getting tires and we're winning. And he won every week. Or the last year we raced go-karts, he won every race.
That's awesome. I didn't get beat.
It was we had a really good kart, and he was a really good driver because the go-karts have that tells you the temperature, the engine temperature, the
RPM.
tach, the RPM and lap times, all right on the steering wheel. And it's a road course. And he turned 2 laps identical. And it keeps like, I'm like, how can you do that? Like, how can you do that? I didn't that always I never understood that. Like, rhythm. Yeah, like just that. Yeah.
If you keep hitting the same mark, it's just like any kind of racing.
Still,
keep hitting the same mark.
Goes to the tenths. It was impressive.
I hit the same mark every lap. It's just you hit the same mark and you keep doing the same.
That's a pro tip for you young drivers.
If you hit the same,
you find the mark. You hit
smooth, very smooth as fast as smooth.
Yeah.
The smoother you can be. Everybody's like, you get the guys who are like, it's a show though. You want to sideways? No, you don't want to be sideways. You're sideways. You're scrubbing speed. The more sideways you are, the more speed you're scrubbing. I understand drifting. I get that. But we're not in Japan. We're not going down a mountain. We're going around a circle.
Yeah. It's like anything else.
What it is.
It's like anything else. Doing work, whatever. The more efficient you are at something, the smoother it's going to go.
Yeah.
And the quicker you're going to be. And then, he was just really good. And then, to me, my favorite was when we went back when you were 15. That was
Yeah.
one of my favorite times because I think we quit for a year or so.
Yeah, we were done for a
And
year.
I told him, I said, for your birthday, we'll just go back. And at that time, I had to add, because we had to add a
I had
bunch
like
of weight.
30 pounds. Or
And
something
you had to
stupid.
adding weight to a go kart's
And
like impossible.
At
my
15,
gosh.
at 15, I was like 5'4", 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I was not
So you
big.
had
I
to
wasn't.
add
So
weight.
to run that next class, we ran Yamaha heavy, I think.
Yeah,
you were,
it was
right?
heavy class.
So it was a 2-cycle Yamaha, and we had a real.
Nice.
I forget what we had to weigh, but I had to add a bunch of weight. So I tried to get the same balance, with the tires. I had scales, and so we went back and when he was 15.
1 week, just 1 week.
Just
like,
1 week, and we haven't been there for a year.
So we had to start in the back.
I had to start in the back, and then it was the best was when we were signing in.
Oh yeah, the guy comes around for
Because
10.
the one guy was winning like every week, because he dominated, and then he thought we were going to run another class, and we were like, no, we're running your class. And he's like, oh.
We're like, he comes up and be like, oh, you guys are running lights, right? And we're like, no, we're running heavy. He goes, oh.
Oh.
Like his face was like, oh,
There goes
give
my
me a
shot.
break.
So then he got second in the heat.
Well, I started 8th.
Yeah, he
and
started
the kid that started next to me, I knew right away he was going to be a nightmare. Like I looked down, we're under green. We just went into the first turn, and he's already running the guy in front. I'm like, it's the first turn, the first lap. Like, relax. Like we're going to get around the turn. I promise. I got up in the heats were 8 laps, right?
I think so, yeah.
I got to second, and I was catching the leader, but I didn't have enough time. And in the feature, we started second, and I just waited for him to make a mistake. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I stayed with him, and then his thing he taught me when I was 6, probably, was hang back 1 lap and see where they make a mistake, or hang back and get your speed up, and then after the last turn, it's a hairpin. If you can carry your speed through that hairpin, everybody goes to the bottom, and that wide sweeping at Orville, everybody just goes to the infield. That's where they go. Well, if you have more momentum and more speed coming off that hairpin turn, they're going to the inside. Went around the outside of him. That was the end of that. I didn't see him again,
Yeah.
and I pulled half a track on him.
It wasn't even fair. It was bad. Yeah, and then we ended up winning. It just makes you feel good when you don't do that every week, and then you go back and But my other favorite time was in go-karts was some weeks they just ran features, no heats. So they ran like a 25, I think it was 20 lap features for juniors. So it didn't matter where he started. Like after about 3 or 4 laps, the heat came in his tires, and he'd just start mowing them down. He used to lap everybody but like one cart.
And I would be behind him. Like I'd be right.
Like it wasn't even fair. Like
The one year I remember.
fast.
The one year I remember, I think there was 9 of us,
Yeah.
and I picked 100 out of 100.
Yeah.
So I started last.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, and I knew from racing the 2 years before that their tires go away within 10 laps. That 10th lap, like they're hanging on because they run softer tires. We always ran harder tires for whatever reason. I don't know.
Just worked
But
for us.
it just worked, yeah.
Yeah.
And my tires would come in, and by lap 15, I ran the leader down, and it would just like he said, same lap times. I would just run the same lap time.
Yeah.
I would run qualifying laps for 15 laps,
Yeah.
and after that,
he wouldn't slow down. He never fell
That's
off.
wild.
and I remember catching the field, and they're still running together. I'm like, you guys didn't pull away from each other? Like how did you not get away from each other?
Yeah.
And I would drive right back around them. Like they're just.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they were
Just in
slow.
your
I'm not,
way.
and I'm not calling them slow. I'm not. I'm just saying.
No, we were just.
It was.
We were just better.
We were just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did. We had a really good program with clutches, and again if tires, you could see the lap times start to fall off from week to week or whatever. Then you get tires because through the heat cycles the tires go away. But with the clutch was the same. Like every week I do the same thing to the clutch, and if it changed, I get different discs and make sure that the air gap was the same. And that last cart we had, that thing was
dumb.
really fast.
It was dumb.
Like it was really fast.
That's cool.
It didn't.
Yeah.
There was no like wavering. It would just wherever I wanted to go, it went. Like I didn't have to try.
Yeah.
It was just like just do. It did whatever I wanted to do.
Yep.
That's setup. I mean, that's setup, and it's just.
And the first time he ran that cart, he hated it. He hated it. Well, because we had a different motor. We had that. What was that? Atkins motor?
Yeah, it wasn't. It vibrated.
It was shook. Like he said, I hate it. It doesn't work.
It would shake
I'm
my
like,
rib.
I
I could feel it in my ribs.
Yeah.
It would shake my ribs, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm coughing in my helmet going down the straightaway because it vibrates so hard.
So
Wow.
we changed. We got another motor, and then we put.
Well,
that
what
in.
happened was the head was cracked.
The head was cracked. Yeah.
The head was cracked.
Yeah,
Well, when
it's causing it.
Yeah.
we put one of our primary engine builders heads on.
Yep.
Yeah, I was unstoppable then.
Yeah,
Then it was
the
fine.
thing was
Then I
really-
didn't. Then I liked it because
The
it's
thing
like
was
oh,
really fast.
it's like all of a sudden this freaking
Yeah.
yeah.
And we had a lot of help. I mean, we had help through when we first started. Our first week there, guys, I mean, we don't know anybody. I mean, this is our first week there. He's 5 years old, and guy came over. Yeah, you want to run this gas and do this and blah, blah, run this spark plug. Okay, like because I don't know these guys from anybody, but they helped us out, and then next thing you know, when we were fast, we'd tell the other people, hey, you might want to do this, and because so we helped. We passed it along.
Now we tell people to do things. They're like, well, so and so said. Well, then don't ask me questions. Then don't even bother asking a question. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you anything. Man.
He just does the contradictory or whatever.
Yeah. Well, so and so said I should do. Then don't. Never mind. What I'm going to tell you.
So and so said.
What I'm going to do is not going to work for you. So don't even bother asking.
That's funny because we get those kind of questions in our industry.
Oh,
but aren't you supposed to? Well, maybe you should do that.
You know what? Exactly. You go ahead and do that. Let me know how it turns out.
The guy on YouTube said.
Yeah, the guy.
The guy that doesn't speak English. Yeah, you should definitely listen to him.
So that's good stuff, guys. So before we move forward, we have to go back just a little bit to Brett's younger years, and I promised Kenny before the show I won't ask him to tell this story after this one more time because I always ask. I love hearing the story, but you took his little power car, whatever.
I wanted to get him a Power Wheels, and we just used to find him in the scrap. So I actually took a Bigfoot. It was one of those Bigfoot Power Wheels trucks, and I realized the frame of that truck looked like a go-kart. So I took all the plastic off, and I kind of made my own homemade seat out of sheet metal, and lowered it. It was only like 3 inches off the ground. Made my own little steering column. So then we ended up putting garden tractor batteries in. I made like a little battery box behind the seat because he'd run it so good because of the Power Wheels batteries didn't last long and they were expensive. Right. Like they were just ridiculous. I went down to DECA and got a garden tractor battery for $9. So I rigged it up so that I could use one of them with a bungee cord, and I wired it so that it took like a household plug. So quick change battery. He'd start going slow. He'd come in the pits. We'd change batteries and he'd go back out. But I found through research the transmissions and the motors off of a Barbie Corvette, for some reason, I don't know why, I really don't know why, were way faster than anything else. The Bigfoots or Jeeps or whatever else I found, I used Barbie Corvettes. Oh my God, did that thing go. So he had his first go-kart when he was 2 years old. I made that go-kart, and so at two he was, I think I made it for your birthday or something. After we turned 2.
Had a 7 on it and everything.
Oh yeah. Is there any pictures or video or anything like that?
I don't think there's video.
There's pictures somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's not video, but I'm pretty sure we could find pictures, yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's,
What color was the 7? Do you remember?
I don't.
Blue.
Was it blue?
In the front end, it had a white piece in the front. Yeah, it was blue 7.
Sheet metal, yeah.
He painted blue 7 on it.
Yeah. You might have to put that picture linked on the bottom
Listen
of the
to
video.
This guy. You gotta find it.
I just remember going.
That's a cool story. The MacGyver, he
oh yeah,
he modified the
I'm telling you,
truck.
It was like night and day with those Barbie Corvette motors because that thing really went fast then. But I just remember when he started when he was 5 at Orville with the Pee Wee go-kart. It just looked like a helmet driving the cart because he was so little. Like not just him, but like all the little kids, all the kids they sent out in these Pee Wee carts. They are so little and they're going. That thing went 30, 35 miles an hour.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think so.
And we were this far off the ground at 5 years old. It feels like you're doing 150.
And the cart is really small. Like it's more narrow and just wheelbase is short. Now they only use a.
Like you can pick it up by yourself.
Oh yeah.
You can grab the steering wheel and probably pick it up by yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't weigh much.
No.
Just the same as like one of the kids' little battery cars.
It's pretty close.
Yeah,
it's a 50 cc like weed whacker engine, and then they put a clutch in it, and they go fast.
That is great.
Yeah.
So since we're still talking about kids, like, are there? I mean, it's not like you can go to elementary school or you start going to middle school. Like, hey, you want to go out for the football team or soccer team or little league, like. Racing, go-kart racing, dirt track, like it's not an option for kids unless there's like a family member or like do you see, and I think we talked a little bit about this before the show, like do you know of anybody that just kind of stumbled into it that wasn't brought up by, like, oh, my dad did it and his dad did it and like you see that? Is it rare or
Nicky Lauda?
There's a couple. I mean, there's a couple that have raced. I don't know that they stay in it long. Well, I just thought of it. Pat Conrad.
Pat Conrad,
He never always wanted to do it. Went all his life. Went to Reading. I mean, he's an older guy, and he bought a car at 57, 50,
Something like that, yeah.
58 years
Nice.
old. Just got into racing. Now he didn't do it long, but again, because it's a lot easier when you have the knowledge and the access like we did. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been around my whole life, but there is a few that
There's some guys that you see show up and they again, they don't stay in it long.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a couple guys that they don't, like, their parents are like, well, what do you want to do? And they're like, I want to do this, and they go and race. They just do it.
yeah,
Like my friend Parker, I mean, he comes from a racing family. Like his uncles raced, and then they retired, and then he built a sportsman and he started racing. But like that's the closest you're gonna get. I mean, he's like, without being like in a family, he's like his uncles. Like, but like that's other than that, I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head who.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure Mike Schneck. I mean, Mike Schneck probably started just racing. I don't know if he ever.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Like even Von Dorn's, those guys, his older brother raced before Craig did. Like it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
I mean, it's usually family, but
Yeah.
the way to get into it, if I had to say this is how you get into racing, is see if you like it first. So like
Go to
Lehigh Valley Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I like taking
Yep.
people to Lehigh Valley Grand Prix. I mean, it's not like a sponsor or anything for me, but it's like I like going there because I like road course racing. I'm a big advocate for. I don't care if we're going around in a circle. If you can road course race, you can do anything. If you can get on go left and right efficiently, you can do anything. And I took a kid who I worked with at Mack when I worked at Mack Trucks. He had a Nissan 370Z and he thought he was the shit. Like he was like, he's like, I'm gonna keep up with you. I'm like, I don't think you are. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to the kid. I'm like, he was probably 130 pounds soaking wet too. Little Asian kid. Like, and he was super nice kid. But I was like, I'm telling you, I was like, I'm a different driver. I'm not your friends. I'm not your friends who are like, oh, I'm the best driver on the street. No, I'm different. I've been doing this since I'm 5. So we went there. First time out, I'm 8 seconds faster. And he's like, I can't even keep up. I'm like, you don't get it. You're not gonna. This is not, you go out at the box and keep up with me. This is, at the time, I was like 25. This is 20 years of racing experience. Not only that, it's in my blood. It's like, this is not something you get in and keep up with. And he's like, oh, I don't know how. And so the one time, the second race we went out, I followed him. And I just kept pace with him. I'm not trying to pass him. And he's bouncing around. He's locking the brakes up. He's throwing it sideways. And like I said earlier, smooth is fast. But like, anyway, back to helping kids get into it. It is see if you like it first. You know, go to Lehigh Valley Grand Prix. Go to races. Talk to people. And unfortunately, our sport has become more about money than talent because there's lots of guys who stopped racing who had the talent. A kid I raced with years ago who drove one of his go-karts. Yeah. He doesn't race anymore. He doesn't think so, but I think he's as good as me, if not better, at driving. He's just really good. Yeah. So somebody like him, it's money. It really is. If like you have an unlimited budget and you're like, I'm interested in racing, go to a couple races, and you're like, I want to do this. Do it. You can. If you have the money. But if you're going to, how do I say this without sounding rude? If you half-ass it, don't even bother. Don't waste people's time. Don't waste your money. Don't half-ass it. If you're all in and you want to do it, do it. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you're going to do it, that's what we do. I mean,
Makes sense.
I'm terrible with money. I'm going to admit that. But I make it work because I want to keep doing this. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I like doing. Did I want to quit a couple times? Yeah. But you have to take the good with the bad. So it really boils down to, is it something you really want to do? Is this what you want to do with your life? Because it is not something that you just stop doing and like, I'm done. Like, no, this is, there's guys in this sport who have been doing it since they're, 21. Craig Von Dorn, 16. I've been racing since I'm 5. Like, there's a lot of guys like me who've been racing since they're 5. But it's like, it's hard to get into it at 21 and be like, oh yeah, this is now. Back then it was a little easier, but.
Well, and I guess your family has to be all in too. I mean, you just got engaged, right? Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Got a date set and everything. So.
Yeah. So it's impressive how she's adapted to it. So we lost an engine last year, as you know, and losing that was a little rough because I don't have the money to replace it. Obviously, you helped us out, and sponsors helped us out to get us back on track. But she realized how in depth it becomes and how it becomes a lot. And it is. It's like a second job. Like you come home from your job, you go out in the garage, you do what you got to do that night. Luckily, we have a good system down, and he's got OCD, so it tends to be a little easier.
No, I don't.
CDO, I'm sorry. It's
Alphabetically, the way it's supposed to be.
yeah, so it becomes easier when you have a system down.
Yeah.
And she started to see that. Now, when I'm in the house, I don't have any organization. She's pretty good at that. But like, she's gotten really good at seeing how it all happens and how efficient and effective we are with what we have. She's amazing. I applaud her for being so patient because it is not the easiest thing.
Yeah, we kind of, not just us, but I think guys that race make it look easy for some people, like in the stands. But it's
Tell them about
not.
Scotty. Tell them about Scotty. Yeah.
Yeah, the years ago, I rented my car out. That's when they ran Sportsman before Sportsman was a weekly race. So they just ran them the first month. And I rented it out to different people. And one guy I worked with, he said, he said it for years. I can do what you do. It's not hard. This and that. So he got up. He got some money together. And I said, I'll tell you what, you can rent my car. So he did. He went out for warm-ups, and he came in. I thought he was gonna die. Like his face was all red. He's all sweaty. He's breathing heavy. Like are you okay? Like it was just warm-ups. And he's like, I don't know how you do this.
Instant respect.
That's what he said. He said, I have a completely, and he was the worst. He was the worst one I rented my car to. Like he couldn't physically do it. And I always said, which I know people might take this the wrong way, or it does. I don't mean to sound cocky or anything, but I did it. I didn't have any racing experience until I started when I was 21. I jumped right in one of the cars we race now. I did it because it was something I was good at without even trying. I mean, I know it sounds maybe a little cocky, but
you had a gift.
It just comes. I mean, I had a good teacher. Yeah. My dad taught me well, and I watched him my whole life. So I kind of got a really good idea of what to do, and I got in for the first time, and it just worked. Like I'm not saying I don't try now, but it's just real easy.
I jokingly say that to my friends. Like, we'll go to the Hawaii Grand Prix. We just did it the other time, and they're like, messing with me. I was like, this is the only thing I'm good at. Let me have this. Like, let me have this win because this is the only thing I'm good at. I say it to Allison all the time. Like, we mess around, and she's like, she says something. I'm like, I'm only good at one thing. One thing in this world. I'm good at one. That's it. Other stuff, I'm okay. I'm okay at other stuff, but like, driving a vehicle is about all I got. I mean, I'm pretty good at that.
And not to get off subject, but like I was telling my wife is into carriage. She does horse and carriages, and I said, because I went on a couple jobs and people don't understand. They see the horse and carriage. Oh, it's all pretty. Look at the horses and this and that. They have no clue what it takes to get that horse and carriage to look like that and to do that. Just like us, they have no clue what it takes to get that car to the track.
They see straight panels. They see
painted tires, all clean. Exactly. It's a lot of work, but again, it's very fulfilling too. I mean, because again, we're not starting up front and going backwards. We're usually starting in the back, going forward. So,
it's nice when you're doing good.
The better you do, the more fun you have.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like with anything.
Yeah, it always gets my attention where like that car went off on the wrecker last week, and now it's all no dents in it. It's clean. It's back out here for another night. That's good stuff, guys. So, do you? Oh man, we already went through that. The community in a whole, like the racing community. Like I've been in the pits now a couple times with you guys, and I know you asked me. You're like, hey, I'm a little short-handed. You guys, can you help? I'll do anything you ask me to. But I kind of have to draw the line. Like, if you blow a tire in the middle of the race and you're coming in, I'm not the guy that's going to run out there. I build houses in drywall, right? I haven't changed a tire under pressure in my whole life. So I'm not the guy you want that when you come in and you get, 2 laps, courtesy laps, to get that tire changed. So that whole community, do you see that as a family kind of thing? And I know you guys also, you can come off the track and you want to strangle the guy that cut you off or whatever. How do you mesh with that?
That never happens.
How do you? Oh, sliders.
What was your saying you have in your trailer? Was it friends?
No friends on the racetrack, no enemies in the pits. That was my dad's old saying. And I mean, that's how they used to race and be that way. But I don't know that it's like that so much anymore.
Now it's too we're too competitive, and
Yeah.
it's gotten to be
Yeah.
it's just too much. Like you spend too much money, you spend too much time, you spend too much. We spend too. I should say that we spend too much time, energy, and of our own money to get driven how we driven. So we tend to take it out on them, and they let them know. I'm very big on respect on the racetrack. I'll respect you. If you drive me clean, I'll run you clean. I'm easy with that. Yeah. It's really easy for me to do that. But if I feel disrespected, you're gonna know. Like I cannot stress that enough. And if any drivers watch this, they know. If I feel the slightest bit of disrespect, I will let you know.
Well, it's fresh in their mind.
Well, it's fresh in their mind. Like I got a slider thrown on me for second in a consi, barely qualifying, and they slid up in front of me. And after the race, I hit him in the back bumper. I was like, I'm not that. Don't drive me like that. You caught me on the bottom, pass me on the bottom. It's as simple as that. Don't say their name. I know. No, you know who it is.
No.
You caught me on the bottom, pass me on the bottom. Simple as that. But if you're gonna throw a slider and stop in front of me, I'm gonna be pissed. It happens a couple times, and every time I'm like, don't do that. I'll tell them. I'll walk up and be like, hey, don't do that. It's as simple as that. I'm going to give you one chance. That's it. The next one, I'm aiming for your left front and putting you in the wall. Like, I'm going to turn a little bit, aim for your left front, and you're going in the wall. I'm sorry. You're going to disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. I'm not going to take it. I'm been racing too long now, and I'm 31 years old. I've been racing since I'm 5. I don't demand respect, but I expect a little bit. Just a little. I want a little bit of give and take, and a lot of the times, you know it's an accident. If somebody hits you, all right, no big deal. I don't get frustrated. It's the ones that you can clearly tell, like, you could have avoided that. Simple as that.
My dad always said we're all the same size in the race car.
Yep.
Because he wasn't that big of a guy, but we're all the same size. And dad was, I mean, he was more aggressive. But going back to the respect thing, I learned this years ago. It was an old Chinese proverb: honor your opponent, for without them you achieve no victory. I mean, that's
true.
That's, again, if everybody would, race like that, yeah. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't bend anything. I'm pretty sure. Right. I mean, obviously you're going to have some things, but just, again, you can't win without competition. So
the thing about Grandview, though, is it's so small and tight. It's a bull ring.
It is.
That things are going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, even if something is to happen, for example, in 2021 when he won the championship, he needed a header. Granted, I'm his son. I'm not going to say no. Yeah. But, like, he needed a header. His right side exhaust was bent junk. He could not race. If he would have raced, he would not have won the points.
Probably not.
My crew guy came over to me. He goes, "We need your header." I'm like, "Okay." Like
Colby
goes, "We need your header now." I'm like, "Okay, take it." He goes, "We got to take it off. His header's bent." I'm like, "His header what?" We went over. The header's twisted, junk. Couldn't run it.
It would have been good, except it was bent away from the head. So your exhaust was it would have just came out and probably burnt my valve cover gasket, which again you can't have that. So his header was straight.
He pulled the door off.
Yep.
He started getting these things taken apart. A guy next to us started straightening sheet metal. He's a friend of ours, but he started straightening sheet metal.
Yep. And
like situations like that, they're like, we know you need help. Like there's 3 of you guys there. We know you need help. Like
my car was bent.
It's evident. And they pulled the header off my car, put it on his, and he ended up winning the championship. Yeah. But like it comes down to like a lot of the guys there will help you. If you come in with a flat, there's usually the guys surrounding you, they're nice enough that they're going to come over. And if I see that, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go over and help them. There's very few guys I will not go help. Even if I have beef with them from 5 years ago, I don't care anymore. I don't. You got. It's the past. There's a show. There's a show called Ted Lasso, and he says, "Be a goldfish," because they have 5-second memories. So if you can go week to week and forget what happened the week before, you're going to do better because you're not going to be so stressed.
Yeah.
It's just
forgive and forget.
Every year, every season, I go into that mentality. It's like I have no problem anymore. Like whatever happens now happens. But like before, it's fresh start.
It's a great attitude to have. You know.
It's hard to have it sometimes, but
you know what? You're a pro,
right.
And that's why you have that. Pros can do that.
No, I just did a lot of mental work on my brain to be able to deal with that. But no, the community in racing is. If you need something, they'll come to. A lot of guys come to us for stuff because they usually know we have spares, but and we're usually pretty gracious about helping them.
Mm-hmm.
But guys help each other all the time. I see guys throw axles in their cars just to get the car home. I see guys, You know, hey, I need 5 gallons of fuel. Yeah, take it, whatever you need. Or, hey, I need a belt. Hey, I need this. And usually we're pretty gracious. But like changing a tire, yeah, usually there's 5, 6 guys there helping out and getting you back on the track.
Because they need it
radiator
too.
hose.
You know what I mean? Like they'll need it sometime too. Like it's gotta.
I drove for a guy years ago. I don't know if this is a good story to tell, but I won't mention his name. He somebody needed a radiator hose one night, and I ran in the trailer and looking for him. And he says, "What do you need?" I said, "A radiator hose." He said, "Who's it for?" I said, "I forget who it was for." I said, "So and so." He said, "Here, give him this one." Okay. So I gave him the radiator hose, and off he went. So I said to him, I said, "Why did I have to give him that one?" He said, "That one has a hole in it." He says, "I don't like him."
Who's it for? Wait,
yeah,
this one. It'll be
said.
perfect for him.
I was like, "Yeah,
How long did it last?
he took an ice pick. I don't know, but it had a little pinhole in it." That's what he said. He said, "I don't like him. He can have that one."
That's evil.
It is.
We wouldn't do that.
We laughed so hard though. I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah,
that is great. Awesome. So let's. I've heard you mention him a couple times, and let's talk about where it all started. And let me just, I've never got the chance to meet your dad, your granddad. Never got to see him race. Went online, did some digging, and watched a couple videos. And the legend, Chargin' Charlie, right? Chargin' Charlie Gilmore.
Yeah.
Passed away in 2019?
Yeah.
Started racing at 1963.
He started actually in go-karts in the late 50s.
Okay.
And then I think he bought his first cars, kind of like what our class is now in.
Fun fact: we ran at the same go-kart track.
Yeah, 63 cool. From his cousin, Ely. So then he ran that from 63 till
Dorney Park.
I think he. I'm trying to think if he started at Reading.
He did.
Mark just.
He was the 0 junior at Reading.
Yeah, he was a 0 junior because he was a junior. He was Charles William Gilmore Jr. and he started with nothing. So that was his number, 0. He started with nothing because his dad didn't. His dad was not very mechanically inclined.
He was a farmer.
He was just a farmer, and he couldn't work on a car to save his butt. But for some reason, I don't know, my dad was really smart, which I didn't know till I got older, but he had a real high IQ, and he made stuff by himself, and he was a machinist by trade, but he was really good at building stuff and fixing things. So maybe that's where I learned a lot of it, but yeah, he was just, again, the best story I have is with years ago, we used to run 307 Chevys, because they were cheap and plentiful, and it matched to our rules. We had 320 cubic inch engine rules. With a 307, 60 over, I think they came out like 318. So, anyway, long story short, we used to break cranks because they were cast cranks. They were just, because we turned them too hard, they were street loaders. Yeah. 2-bolt main bearing caps to keep the crank in. And every time we'd take a crank out, a cracked crank, the main bearing cap was cracked. So my dad says, "I'm going to make my own main bearing caps." And I'm like, I don't know how old I was, 15. And I looked at him like, "What? You can't make your own main bearing caps." 2 days later, he comes home from work. He had billet steel main bearing caps. He took it and got line board.
Fabricated them
himself. Put it together. Didn't break a crank since. So that's what
we still have that.
Yeah, we still have it. I still have that.
That's not.
It's in our shop. I know. I was like,
he was way too smart for us.
I'm thinking to myself, how could you do that? He did it. There was a lot of stuff he made for his own car, and I don't think he helped. I don't think he built too much stuff for other people because, again, wanted to keep it in house. But really
competition
good
is still competition.
Yeah, really good with making stuff, and we did too. I mean, we came up with some of our own ideas, and we're the only ones that have it, as far as I know. So,
and it's funny when people ask about it, and you're like, don't even ask. You're not going to try it anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, and you didn't start until you were 21.
I started in 1986. That was my rookie year. I finished. I was rookie of the year at Grandview, and I finished 6th in points my rookie year.
That is awesome.
And that record held up until last year.
Eddie Strada.
With
Logan
Watt.
But Eddie Strada beat it.
No, he ended up 7th, I think.
Oh, that's right.
So Logan Watt finally beat my record 40 years later.
And he kept track of it. He knows.
Yeah. I was the only one.
That is awesome.
Yeah, for 40 years that held up, and Logan got 5th in points then.
So was your dad trying to get you rolling before 21, like at a younger age?
No,
or just
he didn't. No, he didn't really help me because he was so busy racing himself. He didn't really. I don't know if he didn't want me to drive, or I'm not sure exactly how that went. But he wasn't. Didn't go out of his way. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely helped me once I started, but yeah, he didn't really go out of his way to get me started. So, because I remember building my first car. My first motor cost $7,000 from Wayne Harwich. I spent complete motor ready to go 307, and Dad had 2 cars, and I ended up kind of inheriting one of them. It was the old Fred Raymer car. That was my rookie. In fact, I still have it. Still have my original frame that I started in.
So you talked about that in the interview I saw from 2015. So if you'd like to go see this interview,
don't watch it. I'm horrible.
It was.
I'm a child.
Brett is so cute in there. What was the name of the show?
Oh, Strapped In with Mike Feltenberg.
Yep.
Yeah, I have it written down here
it's
somewhere.
on BCTV.
BCTV, yeah. It's on YouTube.
From
Something like
2015.
Yep.
And a lot of good stuff in there. So really got to, see what made your dad, tick as an individual, and where he was like. He's like a pretty cool guy.
Dad was great.
For sure.
I had the best dad.
and your memories, you say, like, you've never got to see him race, but you're...
I mean, I grew up with him. He would drop me off in the summer when I was not at school, and when he had to work, I would hang out with him. Yeah. We'd scrap stuff. We'd burn stuff. One of my favorite stories of my grandfather, outside of racing, is one day we're burning something. He had a big burn barrel thing that he would burn. He would burn scrap, basically, and get the copper out of it, rake the copper, and he would just burn the wires off. So the one day, we're burning something, and it's not lighting. And he's got a gallon jug of old, stale gas that he get out of a lawnmower that he scrapped. And he's going like this. I'm like, it's going to light here at any moment. I'm like 13 years old. I'm like, and in my brain, I'm like, it's time to stop. Like, it's going to light. He's like the 4th one in. And then the 5th one goes. And in the 5th one, I'm standing about 10 feet back. 15 feet back. All right, let's call it 20. I was probably 20 feet back, like, and I saw it light and go, whoo, and it went right to him. Well, it caught him. It caught his hand on fire. His left glove was on fire. The gallon jug's on fire, and he stands there, looks at me, and goes, I guess it lit. And he throws it in the thing. Woo! I'm like,
I guess it lit.
What are we doing? I'm like 13. I'm like, is this what we do? Is we're just lighting stuff on fire? Yeah, gallon jug of gas. And he just looks at me and goes, like, tosses it in there.
Where was Mom to yell at him on that one?
Mom doesn't know that story. Mom didn't hear that story.
Gosh.
That's nothing.
No, he did much worse. No,
we should have died. I forget what year that was. Me and him both should have died.
Something
blew up. He was burning weeds up in our junk. He had a junkyard with over 100 cars in it, and burning weeds like he always does. And we were working on something else, tearing appliances apart, and the fire got over to something, and we heard this big boom, and this gray cloud of whatever came over us, and we couldn't breathe. Ooh. So knowing what I know now, I think it was because I work in the water treatment plant. I think it was chlorine, because that's what chlorine will kill you. And water out your eyes, out your nose, you couldn't. Every time you took a breath in, it made it worse. Like you couldn't breathe. We were trying to crawl to get the fresh air. I don't know how we did it, but I thought we were both dead that day.
That's why I'm so messed up. No.
I really don't. I don't know how. Somehow we made it to clean air. I think it took us 15 minutes or 20 minutes just to even talk to each other because we couldn't breathe.
Toxic.
That was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is wild.
But I never got to see him race, but I got to. Yeah. He got to be there for my first win, which was cool.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
I know it doesn't mean a lot to some people, but to me it means a lot. I've gotten 2 handshakes from him at the races. 2. Only 2. The first one when I won, which meant a lot. But the second one, I finished 4th in my second full year of modified racing. I finished 4th in the feature. All I did was finish. And he shook my hand. He goes, "Good job." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Like, it wasn't, to other people, like, 4th isn't a big deal. A handshake isn't a big deal. But from him, it meant a lot.
And he knew, because he knew the difference. Like, he knew, he could watch when you drove a good race. Yeah, you might not have won, but you drove a good race, and he knew the difference. Because I don't know, I think he might have. I mean, I raced for how many years? I think I might have gotten 2 handshakes from him. Because he just didn't. He wasn't that kind of guy that overly joyed and praised you, this and that. He just, I think it was because he kind of expected it. Like he just, like, that's just.
But that was a big respect thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
that
for
you
sure.
saw when
Huge.
he did
Yeah.
that.
And then looking at it now, like the night I came back and finally won again, he would have been proud because I was running the top.
Oh yeah.
Hey, get off the bottom. There's nothing down there for you. He would have been proud. As I say that's the Charlie Gilmore special. Throw it in the top. If you got no other choices, throw it at the top.
Do you guys talk to him when you're racing?
Oh,
You think
God,
he's looking down on you?
I don't even have a
watching you
thought.
guys?
There's no thought in there. It's empty brain.
No, I don't. No, I don't know that I ever did that. I was just. I was really proud when we won the championship because he got close one year. He got second to Fred Raymer. He won the owners' points, but he didn't win drivers' points, and that was I was just really proud that we could put a Gilmore as a champion. I mean, regardless of who it was. I mean, he won championships at Dorney Park, but he never won one at Grant.
He won one at Flemington and he never finished better than second.
Yeah.
He won. He got second. Like I think it was like 11 weeks out of like 14 or something, and he won the points at Flemington or something like that.
Flemington was the one. He drove Jim Brown's car. They ran a backwards race. Wouldn't that be cool?
Backwards race.
They ran the opposite way.
I don't know
They
if that
turned
works.
right instead of left.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't run so great. In these
and
cars.
he won.
Mess you up.
He won. He
These,
won.
these cars now wouldn't be.
Yeah,
like
these
that.
cars
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, these cars wouldn't be so good.
All right, so here's a random one that comes into my brain. Ricky Bobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you've seen the movie, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the Formula One driver, he's in his car. He's
Yeah.
quiet and he's drinking his tea or what? They make it up.
Yeah.
Where are you? Like, I think for me, I'd be in there, and we can't tell. We're sitting in the stands, and it's noisy. I think if it were me, I'd be screaming in that helmet, move out of my way! Like, are you calm? Are you just kind of, like, what's going on in there when you're
This guy doesn't even wave to the fans. So I'm
freaking
pretty sure
doing
there's
whatever,
I
80
wave
miles
to
an hour, sliding?
I mean, me personally, I'm calm, and even racing with him, I look at him as he's just another competitor. He's not my son. The only time I worry about him is if I can't see him and the red flag comes out or something. Then I'm like, oh crap, is that him? Like,
Yeah.
Other than that, I trust his ability. I mean, I know he's gonna be good. So it's like
This guy complains about me.
And when we race together, it's he's just another.
We race together, and he complains about me though.
But in general, are you
Next day,
do
Sunday.
you sing under the helmet?
No,
like
God,
you
no.
singing, you doing
No.
like
You
nothing.
can the win in my GoPro
I'd
video.
be screaming.
Yeah, the win, and he
You
won.
can hear me. You can hear me on the backstretch last lap.
Yeah.
My hands going like this, and you can hear me screaming in my helmet because
Because
I had not won in almost 9 years. So it was like that was a big deal for me. But it was like
Yeah, I know.
you can hear me. When you're racing, no, there's nothing. The only time I'll like you can hear your breath. Like that's how quiet your brain is. Like you can hear your breathing.
Yeah.
You don't.
That's
There's no thought. If you're thinking, you should stop racing.
Yeah.
Because if you're sitting there
it has
thinking,
to come natural.
Good
yes.
point.
Yeah.
if you're sitting there like, oh, I should probably make this move or should
Right.
hit the mark here better. That's not what you should be doing.
Yeah.
That's why I joke about like a place like Port Royal. You're going so fast, long straightaways. You have time to think. Grandview, you don't have time to think. You have time to think at Port Royal. You're like, oh, I'm really going fast here.
Yeah,
But, like-
is instinct. You
Yeah.
gotta. It's split second. You can't. If you think about it, it's too late. You got to do it on instinct.
It is
Your
Yep.
natural ability.
because if you, and that's like it boils down to like the wreck thing we were talking about earlier, getting out of wrecks.
Yeah.
That is knowing what your opponent's going to do before they even do it. Because they make 9 times out of 10, if a wreck happens in front of you, they're going to do something they shouldn't be doing in the first place. They're going to put their nose where it doesn't belong. They're going to cut somebody off. They're going to drive through somebody. Simple as that.
Part of our conversation
Oh.
is these two avoid accidents. So there's no one better at it.
I
Like
don't
there's
know
been
about
so
that.
many times we were watching you guys, Brett, for a couple that stood out. Like we're like, oh my gosh, how did he miss that?
So the night I won in 20...
What was the best one? That was in Brightstein. What year was
Yeah,
that? 96.
He shows me a VHS tape of like
Yeah, that
95 or 96. I think it was 96.
I'm still proud of that one.
So he's racing like mid pack. It's a restart mid pack, and we're watching, and Ernie Saxon's talking. Next thing you know, they're zoomed in on turn 3 and 4. 2 cars go like they somehow managed to go like that, like they're nose to nose. The car on the outside goes completely sideways. Well, guess where he was? Right behind the car that was completely sideways.
I was on the bottom. I was on the way bottom, and I saw them like they were going to come down across the track. And luckily, and he can attest to this. Not 90% of the accidents we can get out of as long as you don't get pushed into it, because the guy
If you
behind
get
you
hit from
doesn't
behind,
see
it's
it.
too late.
So luckily, nobody behind me pushed me into it, and I backed off. The car dropped on the left rear so hard and turned right and went around both of them.
It
was
you watch the car go like this,
and I was still. I mean, I was like, we were going. Yeah.
He goes in. You watch it happen.
That
The
was
car
fun.
drops and like the whole left side almost hits the ground, and he goes whoop whoop whoop. I'm like, no, go back. You were in that fucking shit.
Yeah, I was in.
Don't give me that. That was
I should have been in that.
I
one,
hated
but,
that.
yeah, I didn't get hit.
That made me upset. I'm like, how? And then after racing for a while, you realize, oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
The night I won in 25, they balled them up. It was a big pile up.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave my teammate a flat. I didn't mean to.
You were
but I locked the tires up and turned right. I saw a hole, and you hear me in the video. You hear me whoop, and I get back on it because I'm like, there's a hole there. I'm gonna make it through that hole.
Yep.
And there's a video in what was that, 18. It's a video it's on my GoPro. I can send it to you if you want. It's on my GoPro, my personal one. And they go into turn one, and two guys spin, and there's just enough of a hole in the middle of the track for a car. And I'm the only one to make it through there because if you watch the video from that night, the guy behind me went in and slammed into both of them.
Oh.
I mean, I straightened the car up,
Oh.
and that was like one of those like, whoo,
Yep.
whoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scares you a little.
Sometimes you get lucky. I mean, some of it is luck, but a lot of times you know what you're doing. Again, as long as you don't have any help, get into it. You usually get out of it.
Yeah, because there's more times I can count on my two hands the times you get hit from behind and it pushes you into a wreck.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times those are the nights when you're really fast.
You're just in the way and you can't really do anything about it.
38.
Yeah.
So I have here in my notes at this point, like, is there any pro tips you can add and all that? You guys been dropping tips the whole time.
Kind of.
You may not know it, but I've been picking up on them all the whole night.
Have patience.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, if you're gonna race, it's patience. Have patience. Take the good with the bad, and just don't fall in line, because that's what these guys do. They take their setup book, they read out of it. This is how the car should be. Great. That works for everybody to an extent. You have to be willing to change. Change means a lot, but you also have to have patience with that change. If you're gonna change something and be like, this might work. And if it's you're 5 weeks in and it's still doing the same thing, then change something else. But you have to be willing to try stuff. Don't just.
Yeah, if you're doing the same thing as everybody else,
that's the definition of insanity.
You're just going to be as good as them. You want to be a little bit better. So that's why I said we came up with a couple things, the last couple of years of our own, and
the
one thing. Well, I won my championship with we designed our own rear panhard bar. And we won the championship with it.
I drove it. And it just works.
Yeah, it just works.
It works for our driving.
But
style.
you don't know unless you try. You got to be willing to try.
So you're thinking out of the box in a sense, but you still have to stay in the box, right? As far as the rules, and what you got to do.
Correct. Yeah.
You know.
But like our cars look, the hoods and nose pieces look different purely because it's easier for us to work with. But it's like don't conform to what they have. Like it.
Yeah.
Bicknell sell you everything you need for $38,000, but it's what everybody else has.
Yeah.
So that's what I can say. It's just have a little patience, be willing to try things. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's just and don't overthink shit. In all seriousness, because that's what these guys do too. Sorry, I keep swearing, but no, don't overthink these things. It's simple. We're going around the same oval that's been there since whatever year it's
63.
open. 63.
Yep.
We're going around the same track. The cars are different. That's it.
Yep. Yeah,
gotcha.
and get sponsors, and
Yeah.
you're gonna need one thing. You're gonna need is money.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need talent, but you need money.
No, you definitely need talent because there's a couple guys that have lots of money and
They can't drive.
they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. Again.
They do okay.
The equipment that's the biggest difference since I started is the equipment has come so far. The cars are so much better now than what they were 40 years ago.
So the rule
Because again, he can attest to the car I won my championship with.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody else could have done it.
You could have gotten that car and in 3 weeks you would have finished in the top 5.
The car was
so fast.
And even on that interview I saw from 2015, like you have certain parts on your car that are
outdated.
Really old.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My first
my
first car had a pump from a 67 Impala on it.
Power steering pump.
pump.
Awesome.
It was mounted on the frame and went up.
I love to hear.
Oh yeah. You
This
can't
is
do that
awesome.
anymore.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, we're kind of winding down here. So we have a new season coming up. Grandview, we're like, 1 month? I think it's almost to the day. I think it's the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
April 4th, Saturday.
4th or 5th, yeah.
Yep, the 4th, April 4th, Saturday night at Grandview. Folks, if you're looking for something to do when the weather gets nice, as long as we don't have 7 straight rainouts like we did last year, I think.
Painful.
But Grandview Speedway, which is a shout out to Grandview. They've been in the business for all those decades, and then almost sold out. Like that was kind of like a no, and then they decided not to for whatever reason, and it's still up and running. And so, do you guys have anything to share about the new season coming up? New cars? Anything?
Go ahead there, Slick.
He's staring at you.
I'm trying to get a car together to honor Dave Dissinger has cancer, and he helped us out. He's helped us out tremendously, and he does a lot for our sport, does a lot for Grandview. And I'm trying to, quickly running out of money, but I'm trying to get a car together to honor him. It's going to be a number 88X, and I'm not going to run it every week, but I'm at least going to try and run it a couple times a year. But I'm trying to get a car together to run, and so we'll see. I mean, it's been in the same state for 3 weeks now in the shop, just sitting there waiting for parts and waiting to. I get another paycheck, then I spend a little more money. Yeah. So just got to buy a couple more parts and got to get a motor, and so we'll see. I mean, I think I'll be there opening day. I'm gonna try and be. Gonna do everything I can, but we'll see. But I'd like to thank 2 guys. There's 2 guys that have helped me since I started, and that is Dennis Bailey and Mark Williams. Those guys have been, again, Dennis has helped me before he was even in the fabrication business. Made my rub rails because he actually was, his garage, his shop is right up the hill from where I used to keep my car at my dad's barn. And, I mean, I'd run up the hill and he'd make stuff for me and never charge me. Just always helped me. He's like family. And so's Mark. I mean, Mark used to help my dad before I started racing, and he still helps me to this day. So
he dumped fuel for me for a long time too.
I wanted to make sure I wanted to mention those 2 guys because they've been with me again since I started racing in '86. So, and thank my wife. Got to thank my wife because without her I wouldn't be doing this. So she's just big support. Never complains, and I give her plenty to complain about, I'm sure, but just never complains. And again, she actually drove my car. When was that?
End of last year.
End of last year. They had a powder puff, and I tried to get her in it before, and she drove it one time, but she had a lot more fun this time. So just to give her an idea of what the thrill of all the work we put into it. This is what it's for. And, yeah, she had a great time. Actually won her. Well, she was the only one out there, but she won her division. So she had a great, and got a picture in victory lane. So yeah, I want to thank her.
That is awesome.
So yeah.
Any shout outs that you'd like to give there?
I got a list. So I'd like to thank you for coming aboard again. I really appreciate that. Not only your sponsor, you're a friend, and I can't thank you enough for all you do for me. For us, I should say. It's not just me. B&B Construction, Little Pecker Landscaping. I picked up a new one because of you. Hickory Home Remodeling. He's a good guy. Glad he's on board. We went to dinner with him. He's a good guy. Thrivent, MRB Auto Consultants, Wayne's Garage, Dennis Bailey again. P1 Suspension does all of our suspension for us, and he's been helpful since we went to him. No matter what, you text him and you're like, hey, I need this done. He's like, yeah, sure, chop it off. He's super helpful. Dennis Bailey, anytime you need something, super helpful. Yep. My buddy Colby, he's a huge help. I texted him the other day. I'm like, I need assistance, and he shows up that day, and he's just there to help. He's just there to help. My fiance, she's, like I said earlier, she's a good sport about it. She's had a lot of patience with it, and she has patience now because I'm a little more stressed now because the season's getting started, and we're almost getting started because we're racing at Port Royal beginning of the season.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday and Saturday is my opening day, and I'm stressed because money's a thing right now, and I'm a little stressed. So I'm trying to.
Things cost you, and that's the biggest thing too. Since I started until now, it's just crazy.
Tires.
How the last 10 years, the same part costs. It's almost double.
Tires.
It's crazy.
Tires when I started were 165 for right rear and 140 for front tires. Yeah. They are now 250 and 240. So they're a little. It's a little salty on that, but no, she's a good. Back to that. Allison's a good sport about it, and I love her for sticking with me and taking up this lifestyle, if you will, because it's not for the faint of heart. No, I just again thank my dad for doing everything he does for me. He made headers for me this year. It's not the only thing, but he helped me out a lot this year, and I'm just excited to get started again because it is, like I said, I'm passionate about it. I still am passionate about it. You know, in a couple years, I mean, probably I'll have a family and I won't be able to say as much. I'm being a little more like, hey, I don't want to race as much, but it's going to be. I'm still very excited every time you get back in the car. The first strap in, the first week, you're like, this is why I do this. It's worth it. It's worth the pain. It's worth the struggle. It's worth the time because you get to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Two kinds of people in this world: people that talk about doing things and people that do them.
Yep.
We're out there doing it.
Amen to that.
I remember working at Dana. A friend of mine. I came in. I was a supervisor, and we'd start Sunday night, and he'd come up like at first break, like 1 o'clock in the morning. We were third shift. And we'd always sit there in my office and talk about the races and how it went, and we just happened to have a good weekend that weekend. And he's sitting there, shaking his head, and I said, what? He goes, you're my hero. I'm like, yeah, F you, you know. He said, no. He says, I mean it. I said, no, why do you say that? He said, because here we are, we're out there watching you do what you do. He said, and you're out there doing it. And of course, I took it for granted, but that kind of put in perspective. I was like, he's right. He's right. There's so many of us that talk about doing it, and we're out there doing it.
I know a couple of people that are like that. They talk.
Yeah.
And then they'll actually buy a car, and they never race it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They buy a car, it sits there, and then they sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I would suggest, just helping, again, like going back to young kids, if you have a chance to help somebody, get to know them or whatever, if you're close by, their shop's close by, just help for a year or two and then see if you're really, because then you get a really good taste of what's all involved. Yeah. Not just the money part of it, but just what's all the work that goes into it to be successful. And then, if that's something you want to do, then do the homework and do all the hard work of getting sponsors, getting money, and buying a car, and then doing it yourself.
Yeah.
But that's I would suggest that would be my biggest suggestion is try and help somebody if you can.
Parker did that with us. He helped us for almost 2 years, and
Parker helped us for
And he went and raced on his own, and he's
and he's good.
He's great.
And he has an idea.
I can thank him too because he's a good.
He has an idea of what was all involved, and then we realized, I can do this.
He goes, if they can do it, I can certainly do it because he has a little more.
Yeah,
help
he's got some help. Yeah, and that's good. That's what you need.
Yeah, help and money.
Well, I can definitely see, just being at the racetrack that I know you have some young ones looking up to you, Brett, right now, and you guys mentored a few, and over the years, and good stuff. So how would someone follow you guys? On social media, Facebook?
He ain't got no Facebook.
I don't have anything, no.
So we do have a Gilmore Racing.
Yeah, we do. Gilmore fan page, isn't it?
Gilmore Racing fan page on Facebook is that's our page.
My friend Mark does all that stuff.
He runs that. You get to see old pictures, new pictures, everything.
Yeah.
Me personally, you can follow me on Facebook at Brett Gilmore. It's just my name. Instagram is Brett_Gilmore_7. It's a little excessive, but other than that, I don't have Twitter or X or whatever it is now.
You can YouTube videos from Brandon Kroll. I mean, you can go on.
Brandon Kroll's another guy you can thank.
Yeah. Go on Grandview. You can just Google that and Brandon Kroll videos.
Look up our
names, and a bunch of videos.
Because they're videos of inside the car, and that was one of the things. Yeah. I want to put some links, so I'll drop their links to the social media and stuff under the video, and anything else they can provide for me to put down there. But that some of those YouTube videos are really cool of you're in the cockpit. You're in there watching.
There's some of him and really some of me that you watch and you're like, how? Because especially with him, I watch him race. There's some moves like the night he won last year. I went to where he was running. I'm like, there's nothing up here. I'm not getting a hold of anything. What are you getting a hold of?
I still don't know.
It's imagination. I'm like, you're getting a hold of imagination up here. I'm not. But it is. Those videos are really good.
That is awesome. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming, taking a night. And I've been wanting to do this for a while.
Thank you. Yeah.
In fact, in my first episode, during the episode at the end, I was telling the audience, that we have this lineup coming, and man, stay tuned, and we're gonna have, and I said, a couple pro race car drivers, and I hadn't even asked you yet. I was like,
what if we would have said
crap,
no?
What if I got to find two more? But
I have one more thing to thank the fans.
Yeah.
Amen.
Without the fans, we don't get to do what we do.
No.
So
we
I'm
don't.
a huge supporter of that.
thank the
I really
fans,
appreciate them showing up week in and week out and supporting us,
Yep.
driving around in a circle,
Yep.
like in reality.
Grandview Speedway, Saturday nights.
Yep.
Good stuff. Awesome, folks. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. The Pro Tip Podcast, where we hear from pros telling real stories and real pro tips about what drove their success. Haha, no pun intended. It drove your success.
That's a good one. All right.
But so please like and subscribe to our channel and check out the videos that we place under their clip, because I think you're going to like them. But till next time, God bless, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have a great evening. Awesome.
Yeah.